deepening the breath. Wiggle your fingers, starting to come back into the physical body. Reach your arms up and around, pressing the palms together overhead. On your exhale, bring the hands to heart space. Place your palms lightly in your lap and flutter the eyes open. Welcome back. Now we can get started with our moving. So, keeping this tall spine in our posture, we're just gonna give ourselves some time by opening up and warming up the body. So drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. Reach your left fingertips out to the side. And then with your right palm, bringing it very gently on the left side of the head. We're not pushing the ear toward the shoulder. It's just acting like a little bit of a weight. So breathing into the side of the neck here. If you'd like, you can somewhat tuck the chin down and then bring the base of the skull back in space. Do that a few times. Good. Use the fingertips to guide the head back to center. Bring the palms into the lap. Let's do the other side. Bring your left ear toward your left shoulder. Walk your right fingertips over to the side. Imagine like you're trying to grab something on the floor. And bring the left palm optionally to the right side of the head, close to the ear. And enjoy this stretch on the side of the neck, maybe tucking the chin down toward the chest and then drawing the back of the head in space. Beautiful. Use your fingertips to guide the head back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Give yourself a stretch. Imagine like you're going to touch the ceiling. Exhale, twist open toward the right. Right fingertips behind the sit bones and the left palm is outside of the right thigh. We'll take 3 breaths here. So inhaling through the nose and then exhale through the nose. This is called Ujjayi breath. Breathing in and out. It has this oceanic sound at the base of the throat. You can turn your gaze over your right shoulder. We're waking up energy at the navel center, starting to build the heat in the body. This will help us get deeper in some of the postures. Inhale, come back through center, lengthening, stretching up. Exhale, twist open to the left. Left fingertips behind you, right palm outside of the left thigh. Taking your 3 rounds of breath here. So we'll start to link every breath with our movement. You'll be hearing me cue the breath a lot because it is so important in this practice. Back through center. Now reach your arms out to the side, flexing both palms. So imagine like you're pressing away both sides of the room, squeezing the shoulder blades together behind you, feeling this expansion in front of your chest. We're opening up the heart, keeping the shoulders relaxed away from your earlobes. If you'd like, you can close your eyes so the arms are active here. Flutter your eyes open, arch the back, bring your arms back. You can look up. Exhale, bring your right arm underneath your left, almost like you're giving yourself this big hug. You should feel an opening in the back of the heart space now. If you have the space available to you, you can find an eagle wrap with the arms. So elbows, wherever you are, elbows down toward your chest. If you have the eagle wrap with the arms, squeeze the arms together tightly and then bow your chin in toward your chest. Breathe into the back of the shoulders. Maybe letting out an audible sigh of mouth. Awesome. Inhale, open up your chest, arch in the back. Exhale, bringing left arm underneath the right. Same thing, opposite side. So you can bring the hands on top of the shoulders as a way to remind them to stay down, or find a single or double eagle wrap, it's called, with the arms. And then draw the elbows down, maybe pressing fingers forward. Let the chin drop. Take your 2 rounds of breath here. Remember to meet yourself where you're at in this practice today. Our flexibility and strength is very different on different days, so listen to your body, move at your own pace. Good, unravel the arms. Now we're going to find a tabletop position of the mat. I'm just gonna move my hair out of the way before we start flowing around. Coming into the hands and the knees. Get your wrists directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips. Starting to activate your belly button toward your spine, and try and keep this activation of your core throughout the whole practice today. Tuck your toes, lift your knees off the mat about 2 inches. We're gonna stay here for a count of 3. Nice, for 2, 1. Start to draw your heels
toward the earth as your hips reach toward the sky for downward facing dog. Lift your heels high to stretch out the feet. Good. Stretching out the toes, shake your head yes and no. And drop one heel down at a time, pedaling out the feet, bending the opposite knee. You can add a little sway with the hips here. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Letting go of the day that we've had. Inhale. Exhale, you can flutter the lips. Good. Just reminding yourselves not to take things too seriously. Helping to release tension in the jaw area, even tension in the face that we carry. And now in your downward facing dog, come into a place of stillness. You can drop the heels toward the earth. Don't worry if they're not fully touching yet. Keeping the bend in the knees, it's all about getting the hips high. Long spine. Ground through your left palm, and with your right hand, grab your left shin. Take a gaze underneath your left arm. See if you can relax the space in between the eyebrows, smoothing the creases of the forehead, maybe even a little lift at the corners of the lips. Yoga practice should be fun. We should rejoice in our efforts. Okay, come back to downward facing dog. Right palm grounds down. With your left hand, grab your right shin, and then take a little gaze underneath your right arm. Spending 2 breaths here. Inhale, long exhale. Feel your sit bones widen, hips reach to the sky. Release the left palm down. Bend your knees, maybe even letting your belly touch the top of the thighs. Look forward at your hands and then take little small steps to keep your hands at the top of the mat. We'll meet in a forward fold. You can measure hip width distance in between your feet with a 2 fists. That's usually generally hip width distance. And keep a soft bend in your knees, grab opposite elbows, gently sway side to side. Shake your head out one more time. Release the arms alongside the body, grounding through all 4 corners of the feet, and slowly taking your sweet time to roll up to stand. Stacking your spine, vertebra by vertebra, letting the head arrive last. You can shrug the shoulders up toward the ears and down the back for Tadasana, mountain pose. You can lift the toes and then plant each toe pad down. Maybe even toggle the weight between the toes and the heels and then sway side to side. We're finding that perfect center, and then once we find it, we naturally pause. You can envision these roots growing through the arches of your feet, holding you here steady. Good. Feel everything below your belly button rooting down into the ground, and everything above the belly button reaching up. So we're tall. Good. Let's move through a sun salutation. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Upward salute. Look up at your fingertips. Exhale, hinging from the hips and swan dive over the legs. Forward fold. Good. Starting to see where we're initiating all the movement with the breath. Inhale, half lift. Fingertips at your shins, long spine. Keeping the neck long. Keeping the neck long, so looking straight down. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms. Step back to a high plank position. Good. Drop the knees down, arch the back. Bring your chest and your chin toward the mat. So keeping the elbows in close. Point the toes, slide forward into a baby cobra. Good. So we're squeezing shoulders down the back. If you want a little extra intensity here, you can lift the palms off the mat. Awesome. Press your palms down, press up to tabletop position, tuck your toes and lift your hips into the sky for downward facing dog. We're gonna take 3 rounds of breath here just to reconnect. I like to close my eyes down and then come back to that intention that I've set in the beginning of practice. Having this internal experience, I like to think it's meditation in motion. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Bend your knees, look forward, step to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, draping over the legs, forward fold. Breathe in to rise and shine up, palms overhead. Maybe this time we find a little bit of a back bend, so think like a rocket ship going through the air, reaching up and then reaching the heart back. Exhale, let's come straight back down, forward fold. kicking it up a notch in this round. Breathe in to lift up halfway. Exhale, planting your palms, step back to a high plank position. Good. So you can come down on the knees, the chest, and the chin. Or if you want to try out chaturanga, bring your shoulders over your wrists, bend your elbows back halfway, hover, and then bring the hips down, point the toes, inhale to cobra. So we're gonna stay here for a moment. So we're lifting up a little bit higher, but notice how my arms aren't straight. I'm keeping the elbows closer to the torso. You're shining the heart forward. Maybe you gaze up. Good. Definitely don't hold the breath. On your next exhale, press through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Awesome work. We'll spend 3 rounds of breath here. Don't feel like you need to be super static in your downward facing dog. You can always shake the head. Do whatever feels good in your body. Maybe even lengthening each inhale and exhale, stretching it. Notice how the body wants to soften and do that, which is a good thing. We want to find space so we can stretch deeper in these postures. On your next breath in, bend your knees, look toward your hands. Step to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, reaching the arms long overhead, slight back bend. Exhale, we're coming down one more time for the sun salutation A, forward fold. Lift up halfway on the inhale. All right, exhale, we're gonna bring the palms down, either stepping back to plank, or if you wanna play around with jumping through, you will jump into chaturanga, so you wanna land in your bent elbows to protect your wrists. Inhale into cobra, maybe pressing firmly through the palms for upward facing dog. If you're in up dog, the knees are off the mat. Legs super active. So you're just balancing on the palms and the tops of the feet where your shoelaces would be. Looking up. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze your belly button toward the spine. Lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. Amazing. Spending your 3 rounds of breath here. On your next breath in, look forward to where you're gonna go. Bend the knees a lot. You can step, or you can float to meet your hands on the top of the mat and half lift. Exhale, draping over the legs, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise up, pressing palms together overhead. Exhale, bring your hands through heart space, arms by your side, mountain pose. Awesome. You can take a moment to just reconnect to your breath, reconnect to this moment here and now. If it helps, you can even place your hands on your body. Sometimes it helps to feel where we can feel the breath is moving in the body. Maybe the palms rise and inhale. And then exhale, decompress, anchoring you here. Maybe feel the heart beating faster, blood pumping, adrenaline running. Moving this energy in the body, which really helps to move the energy in the mind, how we perceive things around us, which is really great. Bring your arms by your side. All right, we're gonna continue on. Are you ready? Bring your big toes together to touch. Drawing the heels slightly apart. We're gonna move into sun salutation B. If you have any issues with your knees or any lower back issues, feel free to just keep the feet hip width distance apart. Otherwise, toes together, heels apart. Sweep the mat with your fingertips, so we're getting really low. Imagine there's a chair behind you, then reach the arms up alongside the ears. Relax the shoulders down the back. Bring the weight into your heels. I like to lift all 10 toes and look down because you want to make sure you can see all 10 toes. And then lift your chest. Inhale, exhale. Can you sink a little bit deeper? You're sinking your butt back in space, but we're not seriously arching the back. The tailbone's heavy here. Nice. So much going on in this posture. I know it's a lot, but you've got this. Sink a little bit deeper. We have 2 more rounds of breath here. Feel the thighs internally rotating. Maybe close your eyes again. Inhale. Exhale, sweet relief, fold over the legs. Breathe in to lift up halfway. Exhale, moving through your flow. So you can step, step, or jump back. Choose your own adventure. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips. Take a round breath here. On your next breath in, you're gonna step your right foot behind the right wrist. Drop the left heel down. We want a wider stance. So we're gonna go through this really nice and slow because it's all about alignment in yoga. We want to make sure the right knee's over right ankle, left toes are at a 45-degree angle, then come on up to stand. Bring your left hip face forward, right hip back. So the hips are like headlights facing forward. Now reach the arms alongside the ears. Warrior one pose. Being mindful not to flare the ribs open. Good, remember that activation, belly button up and in. If your shoulders are still feeling tight, feel free to do these cactus or goalpost arms. Totally fine. We're gonna settle here. Pressing through, blade out side of the left foot. Once we get this alignment set, we don't have to use the muscles as much. It's like the skeleton holding us up here. And then relaxed expression on the face. Maybe thinking of your intentions. One more deep breath in. You can look up at your fingertips. And exhale, dive the palms down to the mat. Lift the left heel. Step back to plank, or maybe you want to try with three-legged chaturanga. Keeping right heel lifted in line with the hip. Inhale, both tops of the feet down, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome work. We'll take 3 breaths here before doing the opposite side. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, release out of the mouth. Letting go of some of the heat we just built. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale. Now inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Ujjayi contains the heat of the body. Breathe in, look forward. Step the left foot behind the left wrist. Drop your right heel down. Good, setting up from the ground up. Left knee over left ankle. Right toes 45-degree angle. So your feet can almost be as wide as the mat, and then rise up to stand. I like to even bring my hands on my hips just to make sure hips are facing forward. So this time, right hip forward, left hip back. And now reach the arms alongside the ears. Awesome. We'll settle here for 3 long, deep breaths. In through the nose, exhale through the nose. Shoulders relaxed. Maybe your gaze is up toward your fingertips. One more inhale. Exhale, bring the palms down to the mat. Lift your right heel. Step into plank or keeping left heel lifted in line with the hip for 3-legged chaturanga. Keep your elbows close. Inhale, press so firmly through the palms that your heart lifts through the shoulders. Exhale. Downward dog. Awesome work. We'll take our 3 breaths here. Maybe you notice your heels are a little closer toward the floor now. Finding more fluidity with our movements. Next, inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Step or jump to meet your hands at the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, come back to chair pose, maybe sitting even lower this time. 3, 2, 1. All right, slowly rise up to stand. Use the strength of your legs. Parallel the toes forward. Coming into mountain pose. Whew, let's take a little break here. If you need a sip of water, by all means, get a little sip of water. We'll start to slow it down now. All right, once you're ready, bring a bend into your knees, tuck your chin, slowly roll down. Taking your time, you can sway the weight down. Imagine like your arms are this heavy elephant trunk. You're bending the knees generously, so much so that your whole belly and chest can rest on your thighs. And then you're gonna grab opposite elbows. Shake the head. So we're lengthening the spine up. Maybe
Grab the opposite elbows with the opposite hand.
It might feel nice to clasp the hands behind the nape of the neck as well, just to lengthen there.
Good. You can stay just like this, or if you want to go deeper in this fold, you can use your two peace fingers, grab your big toes, it's called a yogi toe lock, locking the thumb around. See if you can keep the connection of the belly on the thighs as you inhale. Press your big toes into peace fingers, lengthen baby half lift. Exhale, draping over the legs, elbows come out to the side, and then forward. So use your breath incrementally here. Inhale, maybe finding a little half lift, and exhale, maybe crown of the head reaches toward the floor. I like to imagine there's this magnet attached to the crown of my head, pulling down. Weight goes into the front of the toes, sit bones widen. If you feel like you're holding tension in the neck here, just gently shake the head no, or flutter the lips, maybe unhinge the jaw, relaxing bottom teeth away from top teeth. Close your eyes, and don't forget to breathe. 3 more breaths. So the body's warmed up now that we can go a little bit deeper in these stretches. If you had the toes in the yogi toe lock, release, find a half lift. Good, bend your knees, and slowly make your way all the way down. Don't rest just yet, we're coming into boat pose. Sure do. So we're balancing on the tailbone. You can hold behind the thighs or your shins as a way just to get your chest close to the front of the thighs. And squeeze your belly here, keeping your shins parallel. Imagine like you're balancing this full glass of water there. Staying for 5 breaths. If you feel good here, release your arms up to the side, palms facing up. You're serving these platters, and then keep the collarbone broad and open. Maybe closing the eyes here. If you're feeling extra spicy, you can even straighten the legs. For 3. Good. 2. 1. All right, bring your hands together, parallel heart space. Come down to hover, shoulders and heels lifted. For 5. 4. 3, squeezing the belly tight. 2. 1. One more time, lift up, boat pose. Maybe bending the knees, you can readjust your posture. For 3, 2, 1. Last time hovering. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Lay all the way down. You can gather the knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Let go of any constricted breathing. If you had Ujjayi breath, you can just breathe normally now and rock from side to side. Okay. Placing the soles of the feet down. Walking your heels in close enough that your fingertips can graze your heels. Okay. We're going to move into a bridge posture. On your next breath in, press into the soles of the feet, press into your arms, lift the hips high. So pressing into the big toes, you want to feel the fronts of the thighs lengthening, knees reaching forward, being mindful not to crunch the neck here. So I'm not going to look over to the camera just because I'm going to be safe here, and continuously press the hips high, breathing. You can close the eyes if you wish. If you feel good here, you can even walk the shoulders together, clasp the hands underneath, and then press the hips even higher. Imagine like the hips are never going to fully reach their destination. Relax the glutes. All right, if you had the hands clasped, walk the shoulder blades apart, slowly roll down, undulating the spine. Vertebra by vertebra, taking your time here. Letting the tailbone rest last, and once the tailbone's resting, knock your knees together to touch. Walk the feet about mat width distance. Bring that goalpost shape into your arms, even pressing the fingernails into the floor. Inhale, bring your knees over to the left, just a gentle windshield wiper of the legs. Exhale, come through center.
Inhale, knees over to the right. If you'd like, you can change your gaze over to the opposite way. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, left, gaze can go over right shoulder. Exhale to move through center. Inhale, knees to the right, gaze to the left. Good. Exhale, center. 1 more time. Inhale, left. Just resetting the spine. Exhale, center. Last time. Inhale, right. Gaze left. Exhale, center. Heel toe the feet toward one another to touch. Allow your knees to open to the side. Finding this diamond shape of the legs. So if this is really intense for your hips, you can bring pillows or blocks or anything like that to bring the earth closer to you. Otherwise, you can let your arms rest alongside your body. This is a restorative posture, so we don't have to, you can find ease with our efforts here. You can bring one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly if you need a greater sense of grounding. And just gift yourself the next minute or so in this restorative pose. Nothing you need to do, just let your body get heavy. Every muscle and bone starts to soften. Slowing down the breathing, getting the heart rate to slow down. Maybe taking a moment of gratitude for all of the amazing things that your body can do. Rejoice in your efforts, the fact that you showed up to practice today. It went by pretty quickly. Setting in place these good habits. Now you can bring your palms to the outer thighs and you're going to guide your knees together like you're closing a book. Extend the legs down the length of the mat. Let your feet flop open. Let your arms rest alongside your body, palms facing up. We'll do a very brief Shavasana, corpse pose. There's really nothing we have to do other than absorb the benefits of the practice. Closing the eyes completely. Feeling every muscle and bone get heavy, even relaxing the eyes in their sockets. And see if we can carry this feeling with us into the rest of the day, the rest of the week and beyond as we start to deepen the breath. Without fluttering the eyes open just yet, just become aware of the space that you're in. Become aware of the weight of your body resting here, held and supported by the earth beneath you. Inviting small movements by wiggling your fingers and toes. Let your head drop to the left side. Move through center and let the head gently drop over to the right. Gradually letting those movements get bigger, circling out your ankles and wrists. Maybe you reach your arms long overhead, stretching the toes forward, stretching your fingertips back. Imagine like you're waking up for the second time today. Inhale. Exhale, let that all go. Good. Bend your knees, bringing one sole foot at a time onto the mat. And roll over onto whichever side you like best as a way to transition into easy cross-legged seated position, facing toward the camera. Press the palms together at your chest, little bow of your chin into prayer hands to honor your hard work and efforts made in this practice here today, and take this energy with you to the rest of the day. I'm so grateful that you shared some of that with me.